Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. I am the Motorcycle Rescuer, and of course this is Motorcycle Rescuer. Okay guys, so after I'm going to show you the process of polishing the panels, because I'm going to do it on the tank on camera, but it can be done by hand. Go get yourself some of this rubbing compound. It's about £4 in Halfords. You rub it on by hand, you rub it around, and maybe 5 minutes, and then you buff it away. That's your start. That takes away all the old, very thin top layer of paint. Then you use some sort of polish. This isn't the best one in my opinion. The best one is the Maguire's polish. You do the same thing, treat it exactly the same, rub it around 5 minutes, that's fine. And then any car wax, this is a Carnauba one, so it's quite high in shine. Any car wax, and you do, that's the process, and this is how they come out. They look pretty much brand new, and I didn't realise, but they're kind of blue, they're not black. They've got a blue kind of, let's see if we can get some light here. They've got like a blue flake in them. Very cool. Very cool. So you can go from what you saw a minute ago to that in 15-20 minutes of just a bit of polishing by hand. The front mug guard will look the same, and the tank will come out the same. It'll look very good. Very shiny. There's an old horn in the garage. Lovely, it works. Rear panels on, I think. Let's get the end of this, the rear of this bike put back together. All the coolant's topped up. All of that's done. Blah blah blah. Nothing to worry about. Although I was considering using a bit of high temp here, wasn't I? Maybe now's the time to do it before them panels go back on. Let me see what I've got. De-rust, clean with brake cleaner, tape up areas you're worried about, bit of high temp paint. Rear panels are tacked on. At this stage I'm missing 2 panels. I'm missing this middle one here, and what was the other one? One more. Where is it? Ah, interesting. What am I missing? That middle panel. The seat I've got. Side panels I've got. Well, I'm missing a panel, so I need to dig that out and see if that pops up. It'll be in there somewhere. Ah, yes, this panel here, there's 2. That panel there, not the end of the world, that panel, it's okay having that open, but if we've got one, might as well throw it on. So I'm going to have a good look, and we'll see if we can find them last 2 pieces. It'd be great if I could find at least the rear one. That one down there is less noticeable. A little bit of high temp black on the exhaust brings it up to life. Makes it look like it's cared about a bit more. So we're kind of in the right direction at the moment. Let me see if I can find that panel. This is my main priority, this one. I've got the 2 side panels down there at the front for the radiator guard. I'm going to cut and compound and do all them bits on the tank in a minute. I have fully lubricated this so that the actual original key will just do it both. I think that makes a big difference, so you just use the normal key, and that does it. There you go. But again, I need to get one more key that actually works, don't I? So we're in the right direction at this stage. Let me try and find that top middle panel, and of course the seat. So I've been extremely lucky. I found that rear panel, and the reason I didn't recognise it is because there was a box on this bike, so it had a carrier on there, and that's why it's got these cutouts. But it's fine. They're not overly noticeable, and I have got a side casing down there. It's not exactly the same colour, but God, it's close. It's a bluish, greyish. It will sit down there perfectly well and neaten all that up. I wish I painted the side casing black now. It looks terrible. To be fair, if you're very good with tape and you taped it up enough, you could do it on there. wouldn't be a huge issue. So rear panel, lucky I didn't nip these up properly because these go underneath, and are part of that actually. And I'll get that panel on, I'll get that side panel on, and then we're much closer to a, you know, usable product, as long as it continues to keep starting. That really powered to life, that did. Like it kind of really kicked in deep. Alright, cool. Carry on. Okay, so I said I was going to show you the polishing and the cutting, so I will. I'm going to set you at this angle. I've got my stuff here, so water and liquid, washing up liquid. Rubbing compound, polish, and wax. We'll give it a quick clean. And straight away. That's one of you watchers calling it, Sean. Calling right in the middle of the video, Sean. Right, quick clean. Quick clean does miracles anyway. Look at the difference, you can see the blue specks. Quick clean. Then, compound. I'm obviously speeding this up, but it takes a while, and I'm actually going to throw my drill on this one as well. So I've got my drill set up, but you can do this by hand. It just takes a bit longer. Okay, I'm going to finish that off and I'm going to come back to you at the polishing stage. So that first pass with the rubbing compound, just Halford's cheap stuff, that takes off any of the imperfections, oxidation, anything like that. So that's the first part done, and you give it a good clean. And then the polish is next. Again, I recommend the other one. So this one's fine, but I recommend, oh god, what's it called? The Maguire's one. But basically whatever you can get polish wise, and I'm going to use a new drill piece on there for just for my quickness, but actually you can use this stuff by hand, so we'll carry on. And again, I'm going to continue this off camera and I'll show you when I've buffed it again. So that's after the super polish. There's no wax on there yet. Big difference. Now I've been using polish wrong. When I've been doing my paint jobs, I've been using the compound. And when I got to the polish, guys, I was polishing it on as if it was a table furniture polish. I thought it added a shine. In fact, I thought you used polish or wax. I didn't think you used both. So lots of the times I skipped polish and went straight to the wax. Actually, it's a very fine cutting compound. It still cuts while you're using it, and it fills in imperfections. It's an extremely important part of the process. So you use a rubbing compound, then you use a polish, then you use a wax. I've just learnt that. I've been chatting to Nat a lot, trying to get this stuff through my head. I'm a very slow learner, guys, but once I've learnt something, it's there forever. Once I do 1 or 2 decent paint jobs, I'll get it. A bit like Nat did. He got it very, very quickly, and he does amazing paint jobs now. But look at that. That has no wax on it at this stage. What the wax does is the wax boosts that shine even more. But at this stage for me, any metal parts, I'm going to put a touch of paint on. It don't matter what colour it is, guys. Touch of paint. It is not to hide the imperfections. It's to stop the rust coming through. So if you see any of this, get one of your pens. I think my black pen is pretty much out of paint. Fill it in so that it doesn't rust through, and then wax over it. To be fair, the wax alone will help a little, but you might as well put the paint in now, let it dry 15 minutes, then put the wax on top. If you look at the starting product, we had this was the starting product. It looks fairly shiny on camera, but it's not. It's pretty terrible. What we've done is we've cut away all the old nasty sun faded paint, and we're back down to what was underneath, a nice fresh start. So there you go, little touch up with black, and again, it's not about hiding things, it's about giving it a bit more longevity, guys, stopping the rust. I'm going to piece the back end back together while that's drying, because it has to dry properly before I wax it. Then I'm going to do the same cut in compound, polish and wax to the front mudguard, side panels on, and then I'm going to piece it all back together so that we have a bike, and then I'll look at the final little touches. How did we get to this, guys? How did we get from that bike sitting over in the corner with nothing on it to this? Crazy, right? Unbelievable. I bled the front brake. I adjusted the rear brake. It's got a horn. If we were extremely lucky now, this would let me ride away. Rides beautifully. Hasn't got as much pull as that one because of the exhaust. These exhausts are quite restrictive, so it hasn't got that kind of extra pull on it, but this is such a stunning, this will be a great first bike for someone. That's what this should be, a great first bike for someone. It's still got like 11 months MOT on it. I'm going to kind of keep messing with it over the next few days, make sure it continues to keep starting, otherwise it's going to go up. I'm going to ask you guys for your opinion on the price of this one. Two prices always, I always do two prices, one for the group and the watchers, and one for the average Joe. My thoughts are $6.50 to the group and average watchers, $8.50 to the average Joe, knowing it needs a little bit of work before the next MOT. Definitely a rear tyre, and potentially, what was the other thing? Front seals. Look at it. It had to be done, guys. Look at this. You've got kind of okay, goodish, average condition for its age, and then you've got all the extra added bonuses, all the polish, the paintwork. Rear handle's cool. I don't know how he painted that black. He's done it really well. I'd love to know what paint he used. It's very smooth, unless he just followed the same process he does on here. Motard exhaust system, that gives this one a bit more bite. But if it was your first bike and you didn't want a tiny bit more bite, and you just wanted a bit of a gentler one, then this is it. If I was fussed, I'd be taking the rear shocks off and refurbishing them. What it does need is a speedo cable. I've got one somewhere because I bought one for the other bike, but I don't know where that is at the moment. It might be at home. I'm going to put my my Motorcycle Rescuer t-shirt on the wall, guys. I was speaking to John Trey this morning. He said it should go up in the garage. No point in there, it's disgusting. It's going to be at home where I rest and I can see it. I really like it. I really love the channel, and that's where it's going. If anyone wants a t-shirt, just message me, check what sizes are left, and then it's £20. You pay into the PayPal and I get it posted to you. I don't make profit, guys, off the £20, as in anything other than £1.20 or whatever it is. Basically it costs me that much to make them and send them, bar £1 or £2 actually. So yeah, but look at this, guys. 2 er5s. I nearly said his and hers, but that's wrong. They're both his, they're both hers, they both work. I would happily drive that regularly. And maybe if this one sells first, maybe I'll give a bunch of the money to Nat, so that I start kind of paying that one off until that sells, if that makes sense, because I'd happily use that as my average runaround if needed. But there you go. There's a lot of hard work into these bikes, guys, but we have 2 riding MOT bikes, so it was well worth it. Let me know what your thoughts are in the comments. Always interesting to hear your thoughts. Someone said that the ZL600 sounded not good. These cameras pick up engines really weird. I've had engines that sound great here and bad on camera. I've had engines that sound terrible here and good on camera. You can't rely on the camera sound to pick up on what's right or what's wrong. The engine on that ZL is fine, it runs very well, and it's running on all 4. I've checked that. Someone mentioned that a couple of bolts were missing. Yep, there's probably 3 bolts missing. None of them important bolts at all. One was a snapped bolt that was already snapped when I got the bike. The other 2 are at the bottom of the triangles. They just don't line up anymore. So if I threw a bolt in, it would just be for design purposes, which is fine, I can do that. And I believe we have finally ordered the cap that we need to properly finish that bike. It should be here in a couple of days, and then we can send it home. But this is the pride and joy today. Hi guys, welcome back. Very quick update. Someone's coming to view this er5 now within a couple of hours. I need to swap the petrol caps over because the Goldie wouldn't have a key for its fuel cap. So we keep this one simple, guys. You pop open the cap, you take off the screws, you pop that out, you switch it over. that's done and dusted there. It's going to take me 2 minutes. I'll do a very quick shiny polish with a quick shine. Once you've done all the other stuff on the bike, them quick detailing sprays are perfect. In fact, I'll pull it out into the light. We'll have a quick look over it before they take it. Now I think they're almost a done deal because they said they've put insurance on it, so it's almost a definite sale. So this is a good time to pull it out, fire it up, make sure it's all good. Quick and easy. Let's get it switched over before any rain turns up. We don't want any rain going into that fuel. So I'm going to get it switched over there. And then that's great. Like I said, I'll throw a cloth over it with some shiny products, throw it back in the garage, and then when we put it out, it will look great. As always with my videos, it's not about hiding the crap. It's about accepting, you know, the bike as it is. So Goldie, this is Goldie's thing now. This means the keys all kind of line up now, which is good. So this now just has its own key. Goldie has its own key. It's a shame because Goldie's got the busted up fuel filler cap, but saying that, it's not a huge issue. Yeah, I mean, this is a job that needed to be done. My ideal would have been to have a key cut for this and Goldie kept this cap, but actually this all black and the silver with black on that actually suits it quite well, so it's definitely not a bad thing at all. I think these two bolts are duds actually. I think they're just there for looks. I think it's 1, 2 and 3 that are actually holding it in, but it's all good. I think the guy's going to snap this bike up tonight. What's really annoying is I put it on eBay the other day, which means you pay all the fees. You pay £15 just to put it on, and then you pay a percentage of the final fee. So even though you don't sell it on there, if you cancel the auction, which is what I do, or the buy it now, they still charge you the first £15 fee plus the final fee. eBay kind of winds me up, but it is a platform where people trust a little bit more than Gumtree and Facebook Marketplace, so you do have to consider it sometimes. I just really hate paying what I think is a lot of fees. You end up paying, what, 70-80 quid to advertise your vehicle. Right, so this key is now the whole bike. This bike don't really need choke, it don't actually like choke. What's cool is you see this busted side casing, I've got one more in there somewhere which I can give them, so that when they want to change it over. If I had this any longer, I'd have been tempted to do it again, but I sealed that so well last time that I didn't want to mess. At this stage I have to separate the keys now. This needs its own independent key, and I need to give it a quick wipe over with a shine product. I've got loads in here, guys, that I pick up over the years. This stuff was meant to be a miracle stuff. It was meant to be very similar to ceramic coating, but it's not. It's not. It doesn't do anything particularly special. This stuff I quite like because it leaves a kind of thicker wax on it. I quite like that, the AA wash and wax. And actually, one of my best products over the years is this spray and shine, and you get these from all the cheap places, B&M's and all of that. They're very quick, they're very shiny, and they do the job. But that's once you've done all the hard work with the polishes. That won't do anything if you haven't done all the hard work with the polishes. So I'll put a quick rag over this, push it back in, so that when I pull it out later, it's going to look, you know, its best, really. It is a nice bike, I like it. It's got no issues, no cooling issues, no running issues. It must have started 300 times this week. I've been driving it nuts to try and prove a point. I have no concerns about this being okay now. I wouldn't sell it, and I think the fix was, in the end, I think it was the, oh, you can't see it, but the side stand switch, because it up here, look, you can see where I retaped it. It had kind of weird issues. Oh, that reminds me, look, petrol tap, I need to throw a bolt in there. I'm going to do that right now. It's stuff like that. Stuff like that can let you down. Alright, I'll throw that bolt in and throw a bit of polish on and we're good to go. Guys out test riding the er5 now. Really interesting. So he's just had his MT-07 stolen. It was recovered. He didn't want it back. And they have paid out. But his insurance for anything similar has gone through the roof. So he's buying the er5 for a year or two to sit in his garden to accumulate no claims. Oh, there's something really, not weird. Weird isn't right, but kind of that doesn't sit right with me, because that's going to be an er5 in 2 years' time that needs a lot of work again. He did say to me, he said to me, look, you know, because I said to him, why don't you buy a cheap moped that you're not, you know, insure a cheap moped that you're not running, it's broken down, and you'll get your 2 years no claims. And he said, no, because I can jump on this. So it could be one of them situations where he likes it more than he thinks. But to go from an MT-07 to an er500 is a weird jump. These little 2-cylinder plodding engines, it's going to feel like a 125 to him. But let's see when he gets back. He's a nice guy. There it went, guys. That was nice. Like I said, interesting. He really just wants it for the insurance, which is cool. But it drove really well. He took it for a good old long test ride. Ages. Scared the hell out of me. But I hope, you know, he has luck with it. And I was, oh, how do I turn his camera around? I was saying to him that, you know, how horrible it is, all these people losing their bikes, you know, being nicked. It's disgusting. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this er5 video. That's it now for that one. It's over. It's been a real love for me, actually, that one. To see a bike that was sitting in that corner on its arse, ready to be scrapped, and then to kind of nurse it back to life, just by going over the same checks that I'd already did, but going over them again and thoroughly. And I genuinely think the side stand had a dodgy connector. I ended up cutting it much higher up and doing it again, and I think between that and the stator and the one kind of slightly dodgy spark plug, I think we resolved that bike, and I reckon that bike will be running for a while. As always, thanks for watching. Please subscribe, make sure you press the bell icon, drop a comment no matter how silly it seems to you, it helps the channel out. And if you want a t-shirt or a keyring, let me know, there's not that many left.